Okay, let's jump right in. We're doing a deep dive today into Isaiah chapter 18.
Right. A pretty dense chapter, actually.
It really is, and our aim is, well, to unpack some of the really striking images and, the specific details you find in this text.
It definitely kicks off with a very um, distinct picture,
Hmm.
doesn't it? The text takes us straight to a specific place, specific people.
It does. It talks about the land of whirring wings along the rivers of Cush. I mean, that phrase alone, whirring wings, it's so evocative.
It really is. What does that even mean, right? And then how they communicate?
Exactly. Sending envoys by sea, it says, in papyrus boats over the water. It
Mm.
gives you a feel for their world straight off.
And it's not just the location, it's the people. The text goes into detail. They're called tall and smooth-skinned.
Which is quite specific, isn't it? Not just generic descriptions.
Not at all. And there's more. A people feared far and wide, an aggressive nation of strange speech, and their land, divided by rivers. Again, very vivid details.
You definitely get this picture of, a formidable nation. Powerful, maybe a bit intimidating from those descriptions.
For sure. But then the perspective in the text takes quite a turn. It shifts.
Yeah, it goes to this divine viewpoint, right?
Exactly. And it raises questions about, observation versus action. The text says, the Lord will remain quiet and will look on from his dwelling place.
Quietly watching.
Yes, and the language used is incredible. Similes like shimmering heat in the sunshine, or like a cloud of dew in the heat of harvest. It's like
Yeah.
calm observation, almost detached during this key time, harvest time.
But it's not just passive observation forever. That quiet watching period, it leads somewhere. The text moves towards action, a very specific kind of action.
It does, and it uses this agricultural imagery, which is interesting. It describes something happening before the harvest, right when the fruit is developing.
Just at that point of potential.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Before the blossom is gone and the flower becomes a ripening grape, then, it says, the shoots get cut off with pruning knives and the branches cut down and taken away.
Wow. So it's like a deliberate cutting short, stopping the growth right in its tracks.
A very decisive intervention, yeah. Halting fruition.
And the immediate result described, it's pretty brutal, actually. What happens to those cut off branches?
Well, they're just left.
Yeah.
Left exposed. Specifically, the text says to the mountain birds of prey and to the wild animals.
Oh.
Yeah. And it emphasizes it. The birds feed all summer, the animals all winter. It's this powerful picture of judgment, total vulnerability, quite a contrast
Yeah.
to that initial image of a feared nation.
So you have this powerful nation, then God watching quietly, then this sharp, decisive cut down, and then being left essentially as food for wildlife. A real downfall.
A dramatic trajectory, definitely.
But then, and this is maybe the most fascinating part, right at the end of the chapter, the text presents this, really surprising turn, a big shift.
Yes, this is where it gets really interesting, I think. It creates this amazing tension because after all that judgment, that desolation, the text says, at that time.
Right, at that time.
Gifts will be brought to Mount Zion, the place of the name of the Lord Almighty, which in itself is huge, from total ruin to bringing gifts, showing reverence.
And the key thing is who brings the gifts. The text is crystal clear about this.
It is. It's not some other group. It explicitly says the gifts are brought from the same people, the ones just described.
The tall and smooth-skinned.
From a people feared far and wide, an aggressive nation of strange speech, whose land is divided by rivers. The very ones who face that judgment, they are the ones who end up bringing tribute to Mount Zion.
So it's this incredible arc, all in one short chapter. You go from feared power through judgment and being left for dead, essentially.
To actively participating in worship at Zion, bringing gifts. It's a complete turnaround.
A total reversal of their situation and their posture towards God.
It's quite the narrative transformation presented there.
It really is. So wrapping this up, here's something for you to think about after this deep dive. This dramatic journey we see described in the text from harsh judgment being left for the birds and animals to ultimately bringing gifts to Mount Zion. What might that suggest? What could it imply about how this prophecy works, or maybe about future events involving this very specific nation? Something to ponder.